Here.
Vice Mayor Perkins,
Here.
and Mayor Hudson.
Here. Okay, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item on the agenda.
Item 3, announcements. 3.1, changes and additions to the agenda. There are none this evening. Item 3.2, if you'd like to speak under public comment or regarding an agenda item, please fill out a speaker card and bring it forward to the city clerk. Item 4, public comment.
Okay, public comment is open. At this time, the public is permitted to address the city council on any non-agenda item relating to the business of city council or items that are on the consent calendar, including a request to pull an item from the consent calendar and the reason why you wish to pull the item or items. Please note that the decision to remove the item from the consent calendar is strictly at the discretion of the city council. May also talk about any future items you may want on. Do we have any cards?
I do not have any speaker cards.
Okay, is there anyone wishing to speak under public comment? Okay, do we have any written?
We have no written. for this
Okay,
evening.
we'll close the public comment. What's next?
Item 5, consent calendar.
Okay, consent calendar items are considered routine in nature and acted upon by the city council on a single action. Members that I was wishing to provide public input may request by email to the city clerk or under item 4, which we just closed. Do we have anyone wishing to pull an item? Anyone on the council wishing to pull an item? Seeing none, what's the pleasure of the council?
To move the motion?
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion for Rose, second Rubio. Okay. Is that good? We're done? I hope so, because I just ended it. Okay, it looks like it's 5-0.
Thank
Okay,
you.
next item.
Item 6, special presentations. We have none. Item 7, deferred consent items. We also have none this evening. Item 8, unfinished business. There is none. Item 9, new business. Item 9.1, Government Finance Officers Association Certificate of Achievement for Excellence and Financial Report Award for the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2022. Introduction by Kelly Sessions, Administrative Services Director.
I can hear that. Kelly, the floor is yours.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here to present to you, especially when we get to give out awards. As you know, the Government Finance Officers Association is a nationwide organization that was established to help cities and government agencies to achieve the highest level of accounting and financial reporting. And they do so through training and education and awards programs such as this. So we recently received a GFOA award, and I like to read these just so you get the full impact and appreciation. Here is what the award says. Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada has awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting to the City of San Ramon for its annual comprehensive financial report. We also know it as the ACFR. For the fiscal year ended June 30th, 2022. And this, of course, is the document. It's a very substantial document, 175 printed pages, takes a lot of work to get this done. Continuing, it says, the report has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure to clearly communicate its financial story and motivate potential users and user groups to read the report. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by a government and its management. So obviously, we are very proud of this award. This represents the 19th consecutive year that we have received the award. If you were to come up into the finance division, you'd see our wall is filling up with all these awards. We're very proud of that. One thing I would like to point out also is that even though this is the 19th consecutive year, each year is a different year. Each year we get comments back from the reviewers. Those comments must be incorporated into the next year's report, otherwise you don't get the award. So it's an ongoing thing. It represents continual process and progress in the financial reporting. So we're very proud of that. So with much gratitude and appreciation, I would like to present this certificate of achievement to Finance Division Manager Candace Daniels and her staff, if you'd like to come up, and thank her and the staff for a job well done.
Thank you, Candace. Was
Thank
one of
you.
their questions, who's your mayor? No.
Did you have a question?
No.
I just wanted to thank the finance staff for their help for the with the report and also other departments with the information that they provided.
Thank you.
Well done.
Always well done. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
More
quite,
plaques for the
quite an
wall.
achievement, quite an accomplishment, and you should rightly be proud for the kind of sustained high performance over the years. So great job. Keep it up for
Thank you.
the whole team.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service to the city.
I think we have a photo op. Thank you.
I really
Very
love
much.
bragging about this too. To like where you're at now. I tell them, if you don't have a plaque, we'll lend you one of ours.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do we have any written comments on these?
Not for this item.
Okay. Then let's get on to the next one. We accept their part. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Candace. What's the next item?
Item 9.2, resolution number 2024-003, authorizing an exception to the 180-day waiting period in the temporary appointment of Maria Ferner as a CalPERS annuitant and the interim department director for the Public Works Department per Government Code Section 7522.56 and 21221H. Staff report by Kelly Sessions, Administrative Services Director.
Welcome back.
Good to be here again.
Feel like a commercial.
So as you are all well aware, our Public Works Director, Maria Ferner, retired as of the end of the calendar year, December 31st, after 22 years of very exemplary service to the city. The recruitment to replace her is already well underway. However, such recruitments take 3 to 6 months to complete. And in the meantime, the city has several critical needs that need addressing. I know you're well aware of these, but for those who may not understand everything, I'll just go through some of these very quickly. The Public Works Director manages the largest department in the city. It's approximately 106 employees and the largest operating budget of 39 million. The director oversees the 5-year capital improvement program budget of 70 million. She manages contracts, approximately 70 contracts concurrently, and very importantly, oversees all of the operations related to design, construction, operation, and maintenance of the city's public infrastructure. And as if that wasn't enough, we're also just entering into budget season. And so we have the mid-year budget process to go through, as well as its development of next year's budget. So obviously, the city has a vested interest in maintaining continuity and direction for the Public Works Department. And we desire to keep her on until we can find a replacement. Normally, CalPERS requires a 180-day wait period after someone has retired before they can come back and help out with the city. But in cases of critical need, exemptions can be made to that 180-day wait period. And that is done by resolution with a vote of the governing board. So that is what we are here to do tonight. There are a few limitations that are placed on these types of appointments. One is that the compensation is limited to what would normally be paid to that position, and no additional compensation can be given. And also the total number of hours cannot exceed 960 hours in any given fiscal year. These requirements have been met, and that is the plan. So therefore, in compliance with CalPERS law, and because of this critical need, before you have a resolution requesting the council to waive the 180-day wait period and appoint Ms. Ferner as a CalPERS annuitant and the interim Public Works Director under these stipulated terms, and that would be effective on Monday, January the 15th. In terms of fiscal impact, as I mentioned, it takes about 3 to 6 months to bring someone on, so the cost would be whatever salary is covered under that time. And of course, we would be paying for this through the vacated department director position. If approved, staff will complete the paperwork and forward everything to CalPERS and look forward to seeing Maria next week. So with questions, I will entertain.
Yes,
Go ahead.
so the only compensation for Ms. Ferner is the salary. There's no other benefits paid because those are already being paid through CalPERS and our other programs. Is that correct?
Correct. No benefits are allowed,
Well, let me
Okay.
say-
other than salary.
And so in that
ahead.
respect, she's actually cheaper. I mean, because we aren't having to pay those benefits, the salary is the same, but the benefit package, and she gets paid hourly. Is that correct? So if
Correct,
she only
under the-
works 35 hours in a week, then she gets paid for 35 hours rather than a salary. Is that correct?
Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me stay with the same thing, those, Kelly. Our department heads get a car allowance, don't they? Does she also get a
No.
car allowance?
They get a management allowance, but
Yeah, oh, microphone's not working. There is a management incentive pay.
she
Okay.
doesn't get that. Because that's not part of salary, is
And
it?
I guess the last one I get is, do we now start, is this a year where we have to go through that NPDES permitting?
No, I believe well, every year we apply for our MPDES permit, but I believe the new permit's been adopted. I think that's well done and over.
Yeah, I know that was one of her favorites.
Yeah, no, she can't avoid that one, or she
Okay.
did.
Okay, thanks. I'm good. That's it for me. We,
Is
go ahead.
is the process for finding the candidate to replace her is already started?
Yes, we've been interviewing recruitment firms, and one should be selected shortly, and then it will go out for basically a nationwide recruitment for department director.
Sounds good, because 6 months you have, right? So we need to get someone meeting with her benchmark will be very challenging, but yeah.
Yep.
So,
Good.
so
Take-
with that, I move the motion.
Wait, we have a
resolution.
public comment on this. Do we have any public comment?
Not for this item.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I'll
Sridhar.
second.
I move the resolution number 2024-003, authorizing an exception to the 180-day waiting period and the temporary appointment of Maria Feiner as a CalPERS annuitant and the interim department director for the Public Works Department per Government Code Section 7522.56 and 21221H.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, vote. Is it over, Scott? Do I get to do it? Yep. I'll check with you. There we go. Okay. Welcome back, Maria.
Thank you very much.
Good, makes it easy. I can go back to my favorite line, call Maria.
Yeah, well, I can call Stephen.
Okay. Next item, please.
That's my second.
Item 9.3,
Call Mark.
resolution number 2024, next in line, set February 13th, 2024 for a public hearing for adoption of resolution number 2024, next in line, repealing and replacing citywide traffic impact mitigation fees for fiscal year 2023-24. Staff report by Deborah Fear, Senior Civil Engineer.
Hi, Deborah.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Happy to be here to present to you the San Ramon Traffic Impact Fee Update Final Draft Report. In 1988, the city passed ordinance or adopted ordinance 135 to establish a traffic impact mitigation fee. It was updated again in 1997 and again in 2016. The San Ramon Municipal Code was updated in 2016. That states that the impact fees should be updated again every 5 years. And in between, we adjust them annually for inflation based on the CCI cost index, which is published by the Engineering News Record. There's also some new legislation, AB 602, which requires some additional analysis, which includes level of service and a housing fee stratification analysis. Ultimately, the 2023 study shows that there is a nexus to increase the fee, and staff recommends that the city council adopt the revised traffic impact mitigation fees. So the presentation, I'm going to try to make it quick. We're going to cover some background, how the traffic impact fees are calculated, the project list, growth projections, the AB 602 analysis, nexus allocation, fee calculations, and the summary of the required program elements. Oh, there's animation. So staff issued an RFP to the 3 cities on-call consultants in June of 2021. Fair and Peers was selected to prepare the study, and Kimley Horn was selected to perform a peer review. During the preparation of the study, AB 602 became effective, and Kimley Horn performed the additional analysis that was required for that. The study was completed in October of 2023. We went to the Transportation Advisory Committee as well as Finance Committee to have both groups review the study. Finance Committee recommended moving forward with the updated fees as they are calculated. So how are the traffic fees and traffic impact fees calculated? I'm going to just go through this. Is very simplified. We start by determining which projects are needed to accommodate the development growth and the percent of eligibility for TIF funding. Then we go through and we estimate the number of trips to be generated by growth of future development, estimate the total cost of the TIF projects, and then compute the TIF by dividing the total cost of the improvements by the number of new trips generated by the planned development. And our project list is based on the current capital improvements program. There are 25 projects from the CIP program that are included in the study. 13 of the projects have been carried over from the existing TIF program, and 11 new projects were added. And all the cost estimates for each of the projects were updated to $2023. The growth projections are based on the approved Tri-Valley Transportation Council fee update that was done a few years ago, which is based on all the land use projections from our city planning department. The San Ramon uses a base year of 2023 to calculate the growth and a future year of 2040. And as you can see, the population between 2023 and 2040 will grow 22%. Dwelling units are expected to grow 26% and jobs by 13%. The study establishes a common basis for assessing fees across different land use categories by calculating a trip demand factor, which reflects the trip generation characteristics of each land use that produces new trips on the roadway system in San Ramon. The same process was used in the 2016 TIF update as we use in this one. The PM peak hour trips were used as a variable for fee determination. Trip generation rates are from the Institute of Transportation Engineers Trip Generation Manual. The trip links were updated to reflect the 2012 California Household Travel Survey data, which presents observed trip lengths in each city and county in the state. The adjusted PM peak trip demand factors were determined for each fee category and then applied to growth projections to derive the adjusted PM peak trips. And from 2023 to 2040, the overall adjusted PM peak trips increased approximately 15%. And with Assembly Bill 602, that became effective January 1st, 2022. Any impact fee nexus studies adopted after that date must perform a level of service analysis and a fee stratification analysis. So we have to identify the existing level of service for each public facility that we're studying. Identify the new level of service for each of those same public facilities once an improvement is constructed, and include an explanation of why the new level of service is necessary. For the housing fee stratification analysis, we must calculate fees levied or imposed on housing development projects proportionally to the square footage of the proposed units, or make a specific finding explaining why square footage is not an appropriate metric to calculate the fee. So the study evaluated the level of service of 17 public facility improvement projects using the methodologies and the measures of effectiveness that are shown in this table. The basis for the required level of services analysis is not specifically defined in AB 602. And as a practical matter, level of service methods applied to various public facilities need to vary depending on the type of the facility being analyzed and the information available. The remaining 7 projects are either citywide studies or technology-based solutions, which don't require a level of service analysis. The housing fee stratification analysis relied on cross-tabulation of 3 data sources. The average number of vehicle trips generated by household size, which was derived from a big data platform called Replica. The number of single-family housing units in categories of persons per household and square footage of units estimated from the 2019 U.S. Census American Housing Survey. And by building permits, by square footage for single-family units constructed within the city of San Ramon and the surrounding areas between 2019 and 2021. And based on the analysis completed, there is evidence that the PM peak period trips are correlated to the square footage of existing residents within the surrounding region of San Ramon. Therefore, a stratified fee structure based on square footage was established as part of the AB 602 compliant nexus fee study. To provide a quantitative estimate of future usage or new trips, the proportion of project costs attributed to new local development was evaluated using the CCTA countywide travel demand model and citywide growth projections. Baseline and future scenarios were run to capture local trips attributed to new local development to determine the percentage of new local trips of each project. The resulting percentage is used as a percentage of the project's improvement costs eligible for the TIF program. In other words, the growth in trips attributed to new development between the baseline and the future years is what will dictate the maximum fee that can be charged in the updated TIF. The percentage of new local trips on each project ranges from 7.4% to 100%. So there's quite a bit of variation there. So based on the total cost eligible, divided by the growth adjustment or the growth in adjusted PM peak trips expected to occur between 2023 and 2040. The fee per trip is 4,634. So once the fee per trip is calculated and applied across all the land use categories, including the stratified housing units, a trip demand factor and a 2% administrative charge are applied for the resulting total fee per unit. So I've put an example here of the calculation for a retail. So you can see there, the trip demand factor is 1.72, and the administrative costs end up to be $159 for a total fee per square footage of 8,132. Or sorry, that's 1,000 square footage. And here's the table that shows the current and proposed fees. And the existing residential single family, the current fees are not stratified, sorry. In the proposed fees, you can see that they've been stratified. And I've also included the percent change in the fees, just, for a little bit of perspective.
Just to make sure I understand, so this fee will be per once per the application when the development application comes in, that's right? Per dwelling unit, but this will be only one-time fee.
Yes,
At the time of permit
Oh,
or occupancy?
building permit.
building permit, okay, thank you.
Yeah, we try and do these things at time of building permit because the impact, we have to prepare for the impact, which is occupancy. And if you don't get the money up front, then you can't do the improvements that are called for in those projects.
That's correct.
And also even to build a dwelling unit, you need to do this traffic, right? So,
And I think just to reassure those who are watching or in the audience, that this is not a fee that's going to existing residents. This is for future and new developments.
Yes, that is correct. So the study meets all the required program elements, which include, we identified the purpose of the fee, identified how the fee will be used, and the facilities to be funded through the fee, determine a reasonable relationship between the fee's use and the type of development on which the fee is imposed, determine a reasonable relationship between the need for the public facility and the type of development on which the fee is imposed, and determine a reasonable relationship between the amount of the fee and the cost of the public facility or proportion or portion attributed to new development.
Do you have a slide that shows relationship with other cities?
That's what this slide does. I put it in graphical form instead of in the table.
Out there.
Well, this isn't for this,
within San Ramon.
So the-
nearby jurisdictions collectively, okay, as
Yes,
opposed to
yes,
identifying a particular location. Got it.
yes. So the green represents the current fees in San Ramon. The blue represents the proposed fees that we're presenting to you tonight. And the red is the average of the nearby jurisdictions. And the table 3, I believe it is, in your staff report, which is packet page 75, shows all of the agencies that we use to calculate the average fees. So you can see that our fees are still a lot lower than a significant amount of the other agencies nearby, so.
Is that because we are generous or?
Because our project list is small.
Yes, and we're very well built out already too.
We're what?
We're
Built out.
we're built out.
Built out pretty much. Yeah. And in your previous slide, you mentioned about how this fee will be used, right? So Just want to understand how we use these, what are the fee we collect? Do we have, do we assign or allocate to a specific CIPs? Or is it only for that specific development we use that?
Oh, it's for the project list that was included in the packet. There's 24 projects. And so we collect the fees and put it in like a bank account. And as the projects are warranted to be installed, for instance, a traffic signal. Like a traffic signal isn't warranted right now, but it will be warranted in the future. So we're just, collecting all the fees so that when that traffic or signal is warranted, we'll have the money to build it.
Okay.
Does that make
So-
sense?
So just for my understanding, so what are the fee we collect will give back to that specific project? It cannot be allocated to other projects.
Well, they're attributed to the CIP.
Okay.
So we're just collecting from specific projects for, like citywide projects to improve circulation.
Overall city circulation then.
Yes.
So when Iron Horse Village pulls their permits, will go into this new table and say, my homes are 2,200 square feet, 2,800 square feet, 3,200 square feet, and with each permit they pull. And then does this City Village, the 404 units, since that has already been approved, this new table does not apply to them, even though they haven't pulled their building permits for roughly 2/3 of their project.
I believe that's a correct statement.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, since it's already been approved, they've already penciled out what they're paying.
Yeah.
And so it's not fair to raise the rates after they've
Right.
already been approved. So
We're playing by
But-
the rules.
any other project that hasn't received approval, let's see. Iron Horse Village just got approved, so they're gonna be under the old table as well, won't they? Oh, yes. Okay. They're under the old table, not the new table. One of the reasons they wanted to get get
Can't
approval,
blame them.
get approved in December, no doubt.
Yeah.
Okay, but projects that get approved starting after this ordinance goes, 30 days after the ordinance goes into effect, then it becomes effective.
Yeah.
And all projects after that go into the new table.
60 days.
60 days. Okay.
So you'll see some rush for
Yeah.
approvals.
Yeah. You could. It'd be hard to get something through in 60 days.
You gotta get the money for
No.
it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and also, Commissioner Veros, to your point about project impacts, for instance, the Iron Horse Village, we're asking them to make improvements in our right of way that is directly to their cost. It doesn't come out of the TIF fund. So they're paying for those directly.
Okay.
That
That's
left
good.
turn,
Left turns and all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's on them
Yeah.
directly.
yeah, but they also have to contribute to
Yeah, they're not
the
getting off easy.
citywide.
The old.
Nobody gets off easy.
It's good. Thank you. Thanks
Any
for
other
clarification.
questions? There's some, Mark, no? Do we have any public speakers want to speak?
Wait,
to-
I'm not,
She's not done.
not quite done yet.
Oh, you got more?
Just a little bit.
Better put you on the 3-minute thing too.
So I just wanted to, conclude that, the study is based on the current, capital improvement program. And because the fees do not cover 100% of the cost of most of our CIP projects, staff will have to, pursue some grants and other financial alternatives. The legislative requirements have been satisfied and staff recommends city council adopt the proposed traffic impact mitigation fees.
So in theory, if the projects of the housing projects that are already identified go through, it will pay out roughly $49 million, or the total cost of the you identified the cost of all the projects combined was 49 million. And so this thing would collect in effect $49 million over the to now and 2040.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, based on the
If
study
in
and,
fact the
and what we can,
housing projects get built as identified earlier.
yes.
Okay.
Well, let me go back to one thing you did at TVTC, but not on the affordable housing ones, right?
Yeah, TVTC does not collect its impact fees on identified affordable units. I don't know that we've done that here, have we?
That's what, I don't think so.
And I think we just,
I think it gets negotiated out though by this.
yeah,
I think that's part of the typical affordable housing project negotiations.
Yeah.
okay, that's good.
So the next steps, for, adopting the revised mitigation fees are prescribed by government code. And on February 13th, 2024, we will be conducting a public hearing, as well as the adoption of the resolution to, update the citywide tip fees. And although the new fee resolution will be adopted following the public hearing in February, the updated fees will not take effect until mid-April in order to satisfy that 60-day waiting period that we discussed. Now, thank you.
Okay.
Now I get
And
to
any
ask.
questions or comments?
Any more questions or comments before we open up or ask about public comments? Any cards?
The,
Well, let's do that quick. We'll open anyone wishing to speak to this before we'll close the public comment. What's the pleasure of the council?
I move the motion, resolution. Resolution number, it just jumped. Resolution number 2024, set February 13, 2024 for a public hearing for adoption of resolution number 2024, next in line, repealing and replacing citywide traffic impact mitigation fees for fiscal year 2023-24.
I'll
It's
second
the-
that.
The rush to second, okay. So we're looking forward to that.
okay, you want to push the button?
We're done. It looks like everybody agrees. Approved, 5-0. I think that's 5-0. Next item then, please. Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll see you in February.
Item 9.4, resolution number 2024-005, 005, 006, and 007, approving the 2024 city council liaison appointments to the city committees, foundations, and liaisons, council committees, regional committees, and other agencies and ex officio assignments. Staff report by Christina Franco, city clerk. So this is your annual review of the various appointments. This item does have several resolutions, with the main one being resolution 2024-004 approving to the various appointments. And then 005 is for 3 CTA, 006 is for Southwest Area Transportation Committee, or SWAT. And then 007 is for Tri-Valley Transportation Council, TVTC. So the mayor, with consent of the city council, is responsible for making the annual liaison appointments to the committees as previously mentioned. And Mayor, I'll turn it back to you for council discussion.
Okay, any comments on this?
No, looks like,
No.
we all had our opportunity for input.
Yeah.
And, adjustments were made as asked for, as my understanding, at least in my case.
I do believe you.
And,
Well, I hope so. I'm the one that.
so then I'll move the 4 resolutions, 2024-004, 005, 006, and 007.
Any public comment?
Okay, do we have any public comment on this?
Not for this item.
I didn't think so. Good.
Council comment?
I don't want any of them, no.
No, I think,
Okay. I get to end it again?
yep.
Oh, good. Looks like it's approved. Print them up.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
Item 10, city manager and city council member comments and matters initiated.
Good. We haven't heard from him all night. City manager comments first.
Thank you, and good evening, Mayor and members of the council. I hope everyone had a great holiday season and is having a good New Year so far. And that applies to everybody in the audience and residents as well. I don't want to just say that to the council up here. I do have two quick items. Number one is that our Government 101 class application period is now open through January 21st. Classes will start on February 26th. Government 101 is our detailed and somewhat expedited course in everything local government that you would want to understand. So if residents sign up, you come in, I believe it's once a week. Yes, once a week for courses on every single department and talks and interactive Q&A sessions. It's really a useful way to learn about local government. So I hope people sign up. It's a very popular course. So if you want to take it, sign up as soon as you can. And then also the other announcement is tomorrow night, we will be holding the public meeting for the Ad Hoc Environmental Subcommittee of the City Council at 6 p.m. Here at City Hall. So that will be a chance for the public to attend and ask questions of the Ad Hoc Committee prior to a decision coming before the council. And with that, that concludes my comments for this evening.
Good. Marisol, you want to start us off on the council? Okay. Mark, you want to start us off? Anything exciting about bees?
No, but
Every
Happy
time
New
I see
Year.
that new movie, I go, oh no.
I'll just say Happy New Year, everybody.
Called The Beekeeper.
I saw,
We're all gonna have to
Our-
watch it.
I saw the advertisement. I don't think it's
You gotta- you're
gonna
characteristic
get it,
of
yeah.
my experience, but
I think it's the guy's a former Army Ranger. Who knew?
As far as community activity, I did attend a really good event, the annual San Ramon Symphonic Band Holiday Concert. Attended that the last couple of years. If you haven't had a chance to do that, it's a great fun time. Bring the family out, wear your little Santa hats or whatever, sing along at the end, and it's a good time. On just this week, I attended the Open Space Advisory Committee meeting. Our Deputy City Manager, Scott Cole, provided a presentation on the financial outlook and funding need for the city. And the committee also discussed the 2023 goals and objectives that will soon be coming before City Council, as well as there was discussion on what to sustain, keep in there going forward into 2024, what adjustments to make, and that sort of thing on goals and objectives. I also attended the Senior Foundation meeting yesterday. And if you don't know, there's a new Encore newsletter out for our seniors. It's got a lot of great information in there. Most of the discussion with the foundation was regarding budget related items. Nothing significant there. Yeah, and that's about it. Other than I just want to recognize, I see Chief Carlson in the back. It's National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So we certainly appreciate all of our public safety professionals and certainly the SRPD, who does such a great job and not just keeping our citizens safe, but also just, communicating with the public and building that bridge between the public and our law enforcement. So thank you very much. That's it.
Sridhar and Scott.
Happy New Year. I don't have any committee updates. Only one update on the community is on Monday, we have MLK Day open mic event. This is our third annual open mic event in our City Hall Rotunda, Monday, January 15th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have the reception. Hopefully we'll look forward. I'm looking forward to see you all. Thank you.
Scott.
Okay. I want to thank the staff again for a great job at the Christmas tree lighting and the decorations in the rotunda and the colored lights we have around town and all that. I particularly like the Christmas trees in the rotunda. That really was nice. And our chamber and foundations all participated, and that was fabulous. had a LAFCO meeting. That's a local agency formation commission or committee. And we're going to be doing a kind of a financial deep dive on the cemetery district associated with the Lafayette and Alamo. And then so they will be doing that cemetery district has had some financial troubles, and we're not sure it's related directly to their income. We think it may be related to their expenses. We're doing a wastewater municipal services review of wastewater, and that will be going through till June 30th. Went to a CCTA, the Contra Costa Transportation Authority, got a briefing on the Richmond San Rafael Bridge update. And they're looking at what can they do about adding a third lane to the existing bridge. Currently, you get 2 lanes in each direction. And there's backups, and what can they do to alleviate that? So they're looking at different changes for what they can do. Danville is getting a small grant to help with the they eliminated their expansion of the Sycamore Park and Ride, and they're moving their money to Diablo Road circulation improvements. We approved Martinez and Antioch Measure J growth management plan. Every year, every city that wants to get their return to source funds has to submit their Measure J growth management plan and a questionnaire. And we approved Antioch and Martinez. You may have seen on the news that BART now has new fare gates at the West Oakland BART station, which will prevent people from climbing under or climbing over the fare gates and avoiding paying a fare. These new fare gates are 7 feet tall, and they had a thing on the news just tonight about a person trying to force their way through. And I tell you what, you better be a linebacker or bigger to get through those gates now. And so they're testing 3 or 4 designs with the intention of having every station have new fare gates within the next, I believe, about 12 months. And then we had traffic's contract review. Marisol, I hope you can go to the meeting next week because I can't.
Okay.
The traffic's is the congestion management project that looks like school buses to most people, but it's not school buses. It is congestion management program where we take kids to school to alleviate congestion at various places. It looks like no matter which way we go, there's going to be a big fare increase for those students attending. And how do we get through this? And well, the board will be asked to make a recommendation on a proposal as a 1-year contract, and then put it out through an RFP for a longer contract. Did the Library Foundation meeting last night? They're doing quite well. They've just finished their jazz concert series, and they made a small profit. That's not designed as a big fundraiser, but they do a series of jazz concerts with local jazz artists and sometimes more internationally known jazz artists. And they made a small but substantial profit on that. They've also been getting lots of donations. People must be cleaning out their garages and bookshelves, because they had over 2,100 books donated in November and 2,100 books donated in December. And so they're grateful for that, but their staff, the volunteer staff, goes kind of crazy when they get these large loads of books. So all in all, the Library Foundation is doing well. There will be a couple of sales coming up. I highly recommend that if you like reading it in print as opposed to electronically, they have books are for sale all the time in the library, but a couple times a year they have large book sales. And if you're a member, you get 50% off, and they would like to encourage people to participate there. That's my report.
Thank you. I got to stay with it for 1 minute.
Well,
Oh, go ahead, Maris.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna, not a question for you. No, I was just gonna give a quick couple of things that I covered since our last meeting, basically. On the December 20th, attended the Arts Advisory Committee, where we basically reviewed several submissions that were given for us for work that we want to commission for the Art and Wind Festival. And we actually ended up, after reviewing everything, just trying to think about what captured the spirit of the Art and Wind Festival and what we're hoping to get out of it. We actually, the majority of the people on the committee decided actually to go with some of the artists we've had in the past, which were really set an exceptionally high bar because they were very good. Beautiful work, expect some even more great work to be brought forward for that. And then, of course, we met on December 21st was for our environmental ad hoc climate action plan committee, just to finalize what we're going to bring forward, as was mentioned, for tomorrow for the public to review and bring back feedback, basically. So that's about it. Thank you.
Yeah, I had to chuckle a little bit when you talked about that third lane, because that's one of the things we were discussing way back when, and the third lane became a bike lane going over to Richmond. And I'm going, who would want to go over that bike lane? Well, unfortunately, with electric bikes, there are a lot of people that want to do it now. So getting money for that,
It's mostly weekends.
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy traffic on weekends. It's pretty light on weekdays.
then I look at the decision we made on this bridge over here to make it wider, and I'm good. Thank goodness we discussed it
Mhm.
and did it the way we did it. But last for the mayor's conference, the only person to apply for chair was Loella Haskell of Walnut Creek.
Mhm.
I guarantee you she's going to get my vote.
Yeah.
But there is going to be an opening if you're coming to the dinner or for the mayor's conference for CSC. And so
Mhm.
they'll probably be looking for somebody from the audience. So don't raise your hand unless you want.
You
That's
have to
the
be a mayor
citizen.
for that one.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. We'll find a way.
Okay.
Okay, outside of that, that's it for me. Next item, please.
Item 11, closed session. Convene to closed session pursuant to Government Code Section 59457 to perform the evaluation of the city manager.
Okay, and we're gonna go back there. Thank you. We will be back when we're through to report out. Thank you.
We should check to see if there's anyone from the
Oh,
audience that
Public
wants to
comment?
speak on that.
Is there anyone wishing to speak to public comment on the closed session item? No,
there you go.
maybe not. Okay, we'll see you. Okay, we're back returning from closed session. The city council met in closed session to discuss the framework for the city manager evaluation. Has nothing to report out at this time. Anything further to add? Then we are adjourned for the evening. The city council